There is currently another round of cries regarding Flat Earth being dead as no one is searching for it on Google anymore. This plot is used to back this claim. The staleness of their arguments notwithstanding, I started questioning this. Exactly how dead is Flat Earth? The plots that are frequently referred to are generated by Google Trends, where you can enter a search term and see how often it is used on Google. But all the plots that people have used to back their points span across 2019, and we must remember two important events for the Flat Earth movement that happened at the start of the year. The first is the documentary Behind the Curve being released on Netflix, and the second is the publication of Logan Paul's little escapade. Both happened in quick succession. What happens in these kinds of situations is that there is a big spike in traffic, and over time, the traffic decays exponentially to converge back onto the background trend. So the issue is that if we take this peak as the actual trend, we are at risk of drawing false conclusions. So let's look at the trend over a longer period of time. Here we have the number of search queries over the past 5 years normalized to the largest peak being 100, and this shows a slightly different story. We have quite a few spikes in activity, and these can easily be explained by media coverage of Flat Earth. We can safely assume that the overwhelming majority of these searches were based on a morbid curiosity as who these Flat Earth weirdos are. These searches were not so much Flat Earthers just flirting. But as I said, these spikes in activity seem to decay exponentially and converge onto the background trend, so when we remove these peaks, we start getting a slightly different picture. By no means does this show that the Flat Earth movement is healthy, as it clearly shows that we are way past peak flurf. I fitted a Gaussian function onto this with the 21st of September 2014 as t equals 0. The mean is at 1203 days, which corresponds to peak flurf being on the 7th of January 2018. Today we are at 60% of peak flurf. The standard deviation is 598 days, so t equals 0 is roughly 2 standard deviations away from the mean, and assuming that the traffic can really be described by a Gaussian function, we could expect that in April 2021 we will be back at the same amount of traffic as it was 5 years ago. Now, these trends are promising, but the optimism might just be a bit excessive. There are a few limitations to this analysis. The first is that I assume a Gaussian function. It could very well be a number of other functions, but on a qualitative level, the relationship holds pretty well over this frame. Another limitation is that Google Trends reflects the search of everyone, and we can't actually tease apart the fraction that are flat earthers that are searching for this stuff. However, one important thing that we haven't included is the fact that alternative search engines like DuckDuckGo are increasing in popularity, especially in the paranoid fuckwit circles. Even with those limitations, I am willing to say that the data show that Flat Earth is dying, but it isn't dead yet. The data are pretty sketchy, but we should be a little bit less optimistic.